is not a show. This is an experience. This is PV Roundtable Talk. Special edition is PV Roundtable Talk. I am your host, Amiri Pettis.
Auntie Shay.
I'm Maya.
And our special guest making this roundtable a roundtable talk, my LB, my Trey,
Robert Thomas.
Thank you.
All right. So today we have some things to talk about because I was recently on a trip and I saw one of my heroes, one of our civil rights leaders, Martin King.
Okay.
But that wasn't him in the picture.
Oh,
It wasn't him. It was giving, I don't know who that man is, but I've never seen him in my life. And I have a problem because I feel like there's a lot of wax figures, especially when it comes to the black people, and they just look completely different.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything like that?
Yeah, I used to live in LA and we had the wax museum and it's very detailed when it came to like the actors and actresses that weren't, people of color and everything. And I think just as much dedication should be dedicated to our melanin, and yeah, what do you think?
So Beyonce has 8 wax figures, right?
As she should.
And not one of them looked like her. And most of the problem was her skin tone, right?
Mm.
So recently in 2019 in London, they opened up a new wax museum, gave Beyonce a new one, and they praised the woman that did it because they got closest to Beyonce's skin tone. Not her skin tone, but closest to.
We don't know how to color match anymore. Okay.
Right. And do you know who Travis Barker is? Kourtney Kardashian's husband?
Mm-hmm.
He just got a wax figure and it looks exactly like him.
Yeah, it does.
Like spitting image.
So what are we doing?
Now, Angela Bassett, though, I will say, hers looks very similar. Like
I saw what's her name? Jennifer Hudson. Hers looked good, and I was like,
okay.
But then I saw Venus and Serena Williams, and I was like,
yeah.
And then the newest ones that have come out are I saw Lil Wayne's.
Yeah.
And,
Ooh.
It's not giving it's giving a little 2C, like it's just like a matte, and like the hair that they use, like I'm like, is that what you think of us?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what and that's why I'm like, I think that's another big problem is that like they're trying to like get as close as we can, but I don't know where y'all sources are, but I'm not feeling represented if you're trying to actually put us in the museum and give us some credit, which we do deserve. So how, like, in terms of like hair textures and stuff, have y'all seen stuff like that?
Well, as a woman of 4C hair, girl, I got the short hair with the perm now. So, back in the day, really 4C hair. And it was always really hard to find someone to do my hair.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when I got to college, I was really excited because I grew up with Hispanic people. I didn't grow up around black people or white people. So I would have to go far to find someone to do my hair, like at church or something else, because people don't have experience with 4C hair. Or being, also this is kind of into colorism, to be deemed a beautiful black girl, you had to have curly hair,
right?
Like not kinky, and there is a difference.
Right. And a lot of people will say about prejudice, they'll say something about like their preference, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it's really kind of a prejudice thing, it's a matter of heart. Especially when it comes to like, I don't date this people because like the I don't know, just the fake.
I feel that, and like honestly, especially since we're all pretty nice, dark shade of chocolate down here. So I kind of wanted to ask like what experiences y'all have had with colorism.
Just a tad before we got into that, I loved all your points about the wax figures. But one thing I wanted to note is I think a big issue when it comes to like getting those things created and the representation that we see is that black people aren't making those figures. And if you don't have experience of looking at that color every day or really even just trying to color match, you can have people come in and show you and represent, but if that's not who you are, you may not have the forte or the understanding of how to depict what it really is to be black.
And I get you, but how hard is it really to paint brown? Like, yes, we say we're black people, but our skin is brown.
Mm-hmm.
So I know somewhere where you're painting the wax, you have brown paint. So why are you purposely making someone who is darker, lighter?
Mm-hmm.
Their resources seem a little limited, it seems. But I know from like artists, like just like seeing people like who are actually black draw us and like color us and stuff, it's multiple shades of brown. And sometimes it's red, sometimes it's purples, like because undertones matter too. So, like I said, I don't know who's in the kitchen, but you need to stop cooking. Okay.
And beauty, it's like it's not just one thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people always say that beauty is the eyes of the beholder and everything, and I think just like the aspect of like kind of having the same look, the same features.
Yeah.
But it's like no, like what makes you is you. Like you're already valuable. You're already beautiful as is. So.
And you should celebrate that.
Yes.
And I think that's like the problem. And getting into like our experiences with colorism, I think one of my things is like some people would say like, "Oh, I love your skin," da da da, da. And then, but like when I'm looking at, even when it's with people who say like, "Oh, they're attracted to certain people," like growing up, all I heard was, "Oh my God, light skin this, light skin that, light skin this," and then I got towards like my middle school years, and I used to get like bullied like every single day by somebody I used to know, and he's black too, and it's always like, "You're so dark," this all like that was like really really difficult for me growing up, and so now I kind of have to, and now I kind of have to take that with me, but not internalize it towards myself or towards other people of different skin tones. So how has colorism kind of affected you guys' growing up, or how you guys view our society today?
Well, for me, like I said, I did grow up not around black people, and the black people I was around did make it hard for me to feel black. So black people were telling me I act white, or I'm too white to hang with them. And then the Hispanic people, they wanted to be black. So it's more like you're inward this and we're that. But we don't want to hang out with you for real because you actually are black. So like it was really tough for me to be black. Like I used to be sad that I was dark a lot. And I remember I was like 15. I started searching skin bleaching because that's how serious I felt. Because I'm like, well, being black is clearly not. And I also modeled. And they tell you if you're too dark. They're going to tell you if you're too dark. They're going to tell you anything wrong with you. So that really affected my self-image. And honestly, prayer views will really help me. Just seeing black people every day. I was like, oh, wait, because we all really are bad. We're beautiful.
Campus, bro. Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely. I think for me, kind of like how you were saying, but like I moved around a lot. And when I was younger, I was like mostly a white school, and then I moved to Chicago, and it was a lot of more like black people. So, but I also like there was both kind of treatment, but it was in a different way, in the sense of like I used to get bullied about like being dark skinned by a dark skinned girl, and then I moved, and then I was bullying someone else. So it's like the bitterness, the resentment. It was like, hurt people, and that's really an honest
thing.
That's real.
So, and then going to PV and everything, I think that seeing all black people like do these amazing things is so inspiring. I'm like, man, like I don't know, I just love black people, y'all.
I guess for me, growing up, I was mostly around white people. I was homeschooled, so home with my family, and then when I had my extracurriculars and things like that, mostly it was other white men. I was in Boy Scouts and things like that. But I was always taught to be secure in in my skin tone, in my race, and things like that. And so whenever I walked into those kinds of spaces, for me, it was really just another distinction that kind of showed my excellence, right? It wasn't really until I got to college that I ever experienced like major comments about my skin tone, exactly similar to kind of what you guys were talking about, coming from other black individuals. I'm fairly dark, and so that's something that gets commented on a regular basis. But for me, it was never just like a negative. And I also, even when those negative comments did come around, I was always taught, how to handle those and how to still have confidence in yourself. But I think that really kind of goes to the issue of the historical education that we've been given of the dark you are, the more negative, attitudes, energies, that comes with that, whether it be aggression and different things like that. So.
And that all stems from anti-blackness and white supremacy, and we don't stand for either of those things. Okay? But so yes, we are going to be coming back after this with the entertainment section. right, and we are back, and we are ready for our entertainment section.
Yes.
Today, we're going to be talking about some hairstylists. You know, everybody's hair up here is looking bomb, and, you know, we need people in our lives for that. Shout out to my person who does my locks. You know who you are.
Gotta gatekeep.
No. But, no, so what I've been hearing, though, is that the new hairstylists, well, the hairstylists are actually going back to their 9 to 5s.
Yeah.
We're not doing CEO, entrepreneur anymore. We're doing side hustle, main hustle.
Mm-hmm.
So what have y'all heard about that?
I think, first of all, I want to encourage like the hairstylists, because there's a lot of hairstylists on PV, and I don't know how to do my own hair. So that's why I'm like, okay, I need,
There's always a market.
Right.
Yes, everyone has a business, and that's great. I think that when they are getting into the business, though, the fact of the matter is, when it comes to my hair, I have 4C hair, and it always has to come with,
Stipulation.
yeah, there's more steps that you have to take. And not only that, I feel like there's no salons, there's no chemistry in the sense of like community and everything. I gotta have my hair like blow dry, like the service isn't there.
That part
The
is
service isn't there.
That part is so crazy to me, because I think that honestly, the reason why like these hairstylists have to go back is because some of them are charging prices that they shouldn't be charging, and then they end up not being able to like compensate for everything, and that's also inflation. But
let me touch on that one, because that really, I don't go to a stylist, but I have been to a barber before.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, I was scrolling because I actually learned how to cut my own hair, because it's something that I think a lot of young men should be able to do. But I was scrolling on Instagram one day, and I was watching this video, and bro was talking about his barber was trying to charge him $100 for a taper fade.
Wow.
It take about 20 minutes to do a taper fade.
Wow.
It's not even that long. And so it's just, that's something that, even in my experience, has deterred a lot of people from, like you said, the prices, and it's almost like an outrageous request, because I know I'm not making $100 in 20 minutes at any of my jobs that I'm working.
For sure.
And if I am, if you are, let me know, please.
Yeah.
The stylists like to charge the most for the most little bit of work. Like now they need to come with your hair washed, blow dry it, braid it down. You're charging me $120 if you want a wig to put a wig on, to glue it on. Like now it's crazy. I remember back then they're gonna wash your hair, blow dry it, treatment, oils, everything you need, and braid it. Then it was like $60-$80 to get you some box braids. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just, I understand you got to get it because inflation and everything else, but should you call yourself a hairstylist if you're not styling the hair? If you're not taking care of the hair? Because that's what your beautician and stylist is for, to treat your hair, to grow it, to care for it, if you can't do it yourself.
And that's a point, because a lot of times people have like heat damage or just like damage to their hair in general, and they don't know that like their hairstylist could be part of that problem, because maybe they're not taking care of your hair. Maybe they're not giving you that oil that you need after, like when you get box braids or when you get your hair properly washed, things of that nature. So do better or don't do it at all.
Now, I will also say that certain businesses are saying that when it comes to hair, they have to be licensed. And there's a lot of people who are like young entrepreneurs are like, I'm not licensed yet, so that's why you have to take these steps. Or I don't have the tools. I don't have enough money to actually buy the shampoo, the conditioners, the protein, all that. So it's like, I need you guys to do it. In that sense, I feel like there should still be compromise in a way of like, okay, I understand that, but work towards and build your business. We support your business. We love Black businesses. So it's just keep going.
But we love businesses, but business says less services means less cost, and I think that's like the biggest issue.
Okay.
Right. And I think that like sometimes people try to like portray that they're giving more of a service than they are. Like even, and like you said about the taper fade, some people take a little bit longer than 20 minutes for it, and they like, I don't know if they're trying to do as much as they can, like with the comb and but it's not working for me. I need to be in and out 30 minutes, and I shouldn't have to pay more than honestly, $30 is still too much for me in terms of like, what's too much for y'all?
Maybe it's hard as a woman because, like you said, if your haircut is $30, if that's what the cheapest is, our hair, getting braids or getting your hair done is like at least 100, 150,
Yeah.
200, and then you got to buy the hair to get your hair done.
Because it's more.
It's
if you don't
more
buy
than
the
that.
hair.
Right.
So like, and then they say just go natural. Natural is expensive.
Natural is a lot of
Natural
Very
is
much
expensive.
expensive. I cut my hair off thinking, oh, I'm gonna be great. No, it's way more maintenance than having long hair, buying a wig, or getting it done.
Yeah.
So like, I just think it's something we just have to deal with. If you want your hair done, you gotta deal with it. I mean, it's not something we want necessarily. Like, yes, it's a drain to pay all this money, but what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna look good.
Exactly.
Style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't want to be limited to just have this. Like, I want to, shine.
Exactly.
Shine. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Quick question though, and it's completely kind of random, but like, would you guys pay that price if the barber had black gloves on? I don't know why. I feel like people have black gloves, and then like people are like, okay, I'm gonna pay for that.
I think there is a certain level of professionalism, right? That comes with the amount the price that you're paying for a service, right? If you're going to somebody's house in their apartment and you're getting a cut, you're not going to expect to pay as much as if you're going to a shop and they've got refreshments and nice clean environment and things like that. And so I do think presentation, like he said, it's about what service you're actually selling. Are you just selling me the haircut, or are you selling me a relaxing environment where I can get away from my daily life and different things like that? If you've got a nice, maybe I get a cocktail or something coming along with my haircut, I'd pay $100 for a nice little hangout time with the barber type of thing. But on a regular every 2 weeks haircut, you're doing a little much.
Yeah.
So this is how we feel about our hair. So how do you think that affects the actual beauticians and hairstylists and barbers? Like, they know that they don't want to charge these prices, or they know that it's excessive and less people are coming to them. So say this is their passion, because most people that do hair, they want to do this.
Yeah.
So now they're forced to do something that they don't want to do because of how the economy is. I don't think they're picking and choosing to just do the most for the less. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's just like they're forced to as well. So there's just a disconnect between the person who's doing the hair and the person getting their hair done. So how do you think we can like mend that or fix that relationship?
I think also there's reality. Like, if you have a business, you're usually going to have a 9 to 5 to pour into that business.
Yeah.
So like, when I saw that video, I was kind of surprised. I was like, okay, well, I don't know if she was starting off or anything, but like, when you have a 9 to 5, it's paying for your business. So it's like, it might be surprising, and a business is really serving others. And if you just have a business just being like, oh, I want to live in a sky rise, great for you, you know what I mean? But in a sense of how's it serving others that people actually want to come back.
Right.
So there's this dream of, I'm a hairstylist. I have, a Tesla and all this stuff, but you got to like work up to there.
I think that sometimes the problem with the pricing is that the hairstylist may be trying to charge for the lifestyle that she wants to like be in, sometimes prior to her actually being in that lifestyle, which could be a little murky, because this style may not be worth $400, but if $400 is what's going to keep the booth rent, the house, the car, like all the stuff that she has to, or they have to do, I get it. But I think that I also think that like social media and like just the internet in general and like our culture, especially as Black people, we're really showy sometimes, and and sometimes that means like we like to flash our money, or we like things like that, especially like with club culture and stuff like that. And so sometimes that means like, oh, I got this was $400 or something, or like even down to like what kind of hair you use and stuff like that. I feel like we kind of keep like trying to top each other to like get where we want to get, instead of trying to just give an actual service that's worth it, and that might be worth that price, or at least like 3/4 of the price, but you can still say like, hey, I did the best I could.
Well, like piggybacking off of that, okay, we're gonna talk to you right after the break. All right.
Hey, welcome back to the Roundtable Talk. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we talked about: hair, texture, wax figures, um, and colorism. And anybody else have anything else to say to add on?
Dude, I just would like to say we look good, guys.
Can
Okay,
we-
can we just
Get a
each
little
stand up and look?
really
Let's stand up.
quick.
Let's sound ready, black. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Look, 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 look at this, look at this.
Oh my goodness, like me and him, we labbed on this, and I said,
Like, we
okay,
just
it's
look
time
so
to
good.
like,
I love this for us, guys.
and it's giving like biker
Yeah,
chic
that
over
was so
here. This is cute and elegant. It's just, and I love we got a little gold going on too.
Right, we
What's
did
the
it.
Accessories.
We're giving, we're giving, we're giving.
So, the shade room, run that back.
Run it back, but we been had it, y'all.
We've been, you know, PV is the best dressed. Everybody eats down every day. So if you want to come back here and do it again, we can do that.
Howard, you're a close second.
Ooh.
He's talking. He's talking.
Okay. And Family, will you somewhere?
Somewhere is crazy.
We'll see you next week.
Bye bye.